I wanted to take a second to tell you guys about a giveaway that I'm doing this month on the channel, and all you need to do to enter this giveaway is be a subscriber of Mad Hatter's Reef, hit the like button on this video, and leave a comment down below. Now, I upload a video every week, so that's going to give you multiple chances to enter this giveaway, and make sure you hit that bell so you can be notified every time that I upload a new video. Now, this month we're giving away a Lifeguard Turbo Reactor to one lucky subscriber to the channel. And that's just my way of saying thank you for subbing, watching the videos, hitting the like buttons, all the support. Thank you. And hopefully we can keep doing this giveaway thing here on the channel. And kicking things off with the top 10 most stunning fish, coming in at number 10 is the Picasso Trigger. Now, retail price on this guy is typically anywhere from $40 to $80 depending on the size and its location, and they are considered easy to care for, have a aggressive temperament. So it is a fish that you're only going to want to put into those predator tanks. And speaking of predator, most often those tanks are fish that have a carnivore based diet. This fish is also considered not reef safe, so it's not going to be an ideal fish for a large reef aquarium. They can grow upwards of 10 inches, and some of them can even exceed that, and they have a minimum tank size of 180 gallons. With all that being said, this is an absolute beautiful fish. Now, I know it's not one of the most colorful fish out there, but if you've ever seen one in person, it is an absolute showstopper. Check out the Picasso Trigger fish the next time you get a chance. Coming in at number 9 on our top 10 most stunning saltwater fish is the green Mandarin. Now, this guy is a absolute beauty, and if you've ever seen one in person, their swimming style is very unique in itself as well. This fish is considered difficult to care for, mostly due to the fact of its diet. A lot of times, actually, anytime that you talk about the care level of a fish, usually it is associated with the diet, not so much, living space or anything like that. It is a peaceful fish, so it's a fish that you don't want to put in a tank with a lot of semi-aggressive or even aggressive fish. It needs to kind of have a really chill tank. It has a carnivore-based diet going back to the pod side of things. You need to have a really healthy, established reef tank with a ton of pods to make this fish be able to survive and be very happy. It is considered reef safe, can grow upwards of 3 inches, and requires a minimum tank size of 30 gallons. So keep in mind, need a very well-established pod population to keep this fish healthy, and also a very calm tank. Coming in at number 8 on our top 10 most stunning saltwater fish is the Bluefaced Angelfish. Now, this guy is absolutely stunning. The juveniles are really pretty, and even the adults, once they kind of lose that color pattern of the juvenile, that blue in the face is just absolutely amazing. And then you just have that orange, gorgeous fish. This fish is considered moderate care level, has a semi-aggressive temperament, so it's going to be able to hold its own in the tank. You don't have to worry about it getting bullied, but you may have to worry about this guy bullying other fish. It is considered reef safe with caution. Now, anytime that you hear that, typically that is referring to that the fish may or may not eat some corals. So that's something that you definitely want to test out prior to adding it to a established reef tank. In most cases, angelfish are not considered reef safe. Now, as far as potential growth, this guy can go upwards of a foot. So in most cases, even though that this says a minimum tank size of 220 gallons, if you have a fish that's going to grow a foot or more, I really wouldn't feel good about putting that fish in the tank anything smaller than 300 gallons, but that's just me. Coming in at number 7 on our top 10 most stunning saltwater fish is the blue throat fairy wrasse. Now, this guy's got color for days, and having that blue splash on the throat is just absolutely beautiful. This guy is considered easy to care for and has a peaceful temperament, is considered reef safe, can grow upwards of 4 inches, and requires a minimum tank size of 90 gallons. Now, the deal, anytime that you're talking about wrasses, one thing that you need to talk about is the fact that they are known jumpers. So if you're going to have any type of wrasse in your tank, you need to make sure that there is a lid on the tank, so you're not going to get some free willy action going on, and that fish is going to be safe. Another important topic to talk about when you're talking about fish lids is having a soft fish lid, because you don't want to have a fish that's going to go up and just drive its head into something. You want to make sure that it's a little bit forgiving so that the fish isn't going to be completely knocked out or have some type of physical long-term damage. Next up on the list, we got the good old Flame Angel. Now, this guy is considered moderate care level, has a semi-aggressive temperament, so it's going to be a fish that holds its own. And typically, when you're stalking semi-aggressive fish, you want to make them to be the last of the fish added to the tank. Give those peaceful fish a good opportunity to get settled into the tank. Has a omnivore-based diet, is considered reef safe with caution. So again, it's going to be another fish that you want to test out and make sure that it's not going to nip at corals prior to adding to a tank. And the way in which you would do that is setting up a quick tank that doesn't have any type of medication in it and adding some corals in there, seeing if it's going to nip at them, and then if you got one of the good ones, add it to the display tank. Max size on this guy is going to be 4 inches and requires a minimum tank size of 70 gallons. Coming in at number 5 on the top 10 most stunning saltwater fish is the Leartail Anthias. Now, this fish is absolutely beautiful, and there is a substantial difference between the females and the males. Now, most of the fish, when you first get them, when they're very small, are going to look like the females, but as they develop, the male will become very different from the females, and the color differences between these two fish are absolutely amazing. The males are gorgeous, as you can see here in the photo, and they are definitely a beautiful addition to any reef tank. These fish are considered moderate care level, and that has a lot to do with their feeding habits. They are plankton feeders and need to be fed multiple times throughout the day. They are considered semi-aggressive, so even though that they are very finicky eaters, they can hold their own in a reef tank in most situations. Reef safe and can grow upwards of 5 inches and require a minimum tank size of 125 gallons. Now, one of the important things to mention when you're talking about Anthias is not only the dimorphic difference between the male and the female, but how they breed. And this is a harem breeding fish, and typically you'll see one male with a group of females. Now, it's important to have a group of females in a tank. You don't want to go just one male, one female, because that male could become aggressive towards that one female. And if you have a couple females in the group, it's going to spread out that aggressiveness amongst the group. One other thing that is very important to mention is that you do not want to have 2 males. That is going to be a recipe for disaster. But all that stuff aside, absolute beautiful fish. Definitely a dream fish for me. Check it out, the Leartail Anthias. Coming in at number 4 on the top 10 most stunning saltwater fish is the purple Tang. Now, this guy's going to put a hurting on your wallet, but the price on this fish has come down over the years. As you can see here, $200 for a small, and at the beginning of my time in this hobby, you would expect to pay upwards of $800 for this fish. They are considered moderate care level. They are semi-aggressive, and with most tangs, they can be aggressive towards each other. The one thing that you want to keep in mind when you're placing multiple tangs into one tank is their shape of their body. Now, if you avoid similar colorations and similar shapes, you're going to do okay. You're going to be able to mix and match some tangs in your tank at home. Now, they're considered reef safe. They have a herbivore diet. This guy can grow upwards of 10 inches and requires a minimum tank size of 125 gallons. For me, that's probably a little bit small as far as tank size goes. I would try to keep it above 200 gallons with a fish of this size. Coming in at number 3 on our top 10 most stunning saltwater fish is the Emperor Angelfish. Now, this guy is considered a moderate care level, is semi-aggressive, has that omnivore diet, is reef safe with caution. I would put more caution than reef safe, and can grow upwards of a foot, actually can exceed a foot, and has a minimum tank size of 300 gallons. Now, when I first started in the hobby, I actually thought the juvenile coloration was a fish, and that was just its color pattern for its entire life. But that's not the case. This fish does change quite substantially as it grows into adult size. Now, when I first realized that when I started out in the hobby, it was a little bit of a deal breaker for me, but over the years, the adult has definitely become much more eye appealing to me, and in person, it is just a very stunning fish. Now, as far as angelfish go, I'm not going to put them into a reef tank, even though that it says reef safe with caution. I'm going to avoid that, and I feel like a angelfish tank system would be a very beautiful fish only with live rock. But some folks have had success with adding these guys to the reef tank, so definitely a beautiful fish. Check it out, the Emperor Angelfish. Coming in at number 2 on our top 10 most stunning saltwater fish is the blue dot jawfish. Now, there is a number of different species of jawfish, but by far, this is the absolute most beautiful of them. It is considered a moderate care level fish, is semi-aggressive, is considered reef safe, can grow upwards of 3.5 inches, and requires a minimum tank size of 30 gallons. Now, the reason that this guy can fit into such a small aquarium is the fact that it is a very site orientated fish, meaning that it is a fish that kind of finds its home, it creates a little cave, and it just hangs out. That's its deal. So absolute beautiful blue dots on this guy with that kind of like orangey yellowish coloration. Very stunning fish. Check it out, the blue dot jawfish. And coming in at number 1 is the Fatheaded Anthias. This is a absolute beautiful fish. It actually almost doesn't even look like a fish that belongs in the saltwater hobby. It almost looks like one of those genetically modified glowfish that the freshwater side has. This fish is considered a moderate care level fish, has a peaceful temperament, carnivore-based diet, is considered reef safe, can grow upwards of 5 inches. And is a absolute beautiful fish that requires a minimum tank size of 70 gallons. And the first time that I ever got to see this fish in person was at the Dallas World Aquarium last year. They had a number of different displays, and I was walking around checking stuff out and just happened to stumble across these guys. There was 4 or 5 of them in the tank, and they are absolutely beautiful. Now, they look like they're a very small fish, very compact, but they're actually pretty decent size, and they are just absolutely breathtaking. So if you ever get the chance to get one of these guys, definitely recommend this fish. And if you ever get a chance to go to the Dallas World Aquarium, I also recommend that. And I do have a video, and I'll be sharing a link to that in the description below.